When my wife, Sarah, asked me to sit down one evening, I immediately sensed something was wrong. Her fingers trembled, her eyes avoided mine, and there was this heavy silence between us that felt unfamiliar. I assumed it was something ordinary, money worries, maybe something at work. But then she took a long, shaky breath, looked straight into my eyes, and said the words that shattered everything. I'm in love with someone else. For a second, I couldn't even process it. The world around me seemed to pause. No sound, no air, just stillness. I didn't yell, didn't cry. I just smiled, not from happiness, but from a strange, eerie calm that settled over me. Perfect, I said softly. Sarah's expression twisted in confusion. She must have expected rage or heartbreak, not indifference. But I stood up, walked to the kitchen, and poured myself a glass of water as if nothing had happened. That single word, perfect, hung in the air, echoing louder than any argument could. For years, I had been the one holding us together. I'd looked the other way when she had late-night texts, brushed off the girls' trips, and endured the cold tone that had replaced her warmth. Deep down, I already knew. Her confession didn't destroy me. It confirmed what my instincts had been whispering for months. And, in a way, it finally set me free. She stumbled through excuses, saying it just happened and that she never meant to hurt me. But I wasn't listening anymore. I told her calmly to take what she needed and go to the man she thought she loved. That night, I packed her things, set them by the door, and went to bed without another word. She left quietly, not realizing that walking away was the best gift she could have given me. The weeks that followed were oddly peaceful. The silence in the house didn't feel empty anymore. It felt purer. I threw myself into work, started eating better, and reached out to old friends I'd neglected. My world, once revolving around her moods and lies, finally began to orbit around me again. Then, about a month later, there was a knock at my door. It was Sarah. Her eyes were red and swollen, her confidence gone. She asked if we could talk. Against my better judgment, I let her in. Before she even sat down, she started crying. It was all a mistake, she sobbed. He's not who I thought he was. I don't love him. I love you. I watched her carefully, unsure if her tears were genuine or just another act. Part of me wanted to believe her. We had shared years together. But another part remembered the nights I lay awake, drowning in doubt and pain. You said you were in love with someone else. I reminded her quietly. Now you're saying that wasn't true? She nodded desperately, claiming she'd been confused, manipulated, scared. That what she said before wasn't real, just a phase. But as she spoke, that same calm from the night, she confessed, returned to me. Sarah, I said gently, it doesn't matter anymore. Real or not, you showed me who you truly are. Her face turned pale. She tried to take my hand, but I stepped back. I told her I'd already moved on inside. There was no rebuilding something that had already collapsed. Love broken by betrayal doesn't heal. It becomes a shadow, something that looks familiar but feels hollow. She pleaded then, promising counseling, begging for another chance. But her desperation didn't move me. It only made me realize how peaceful my life had become without her chaos. I told her she deserved to find her own way, but it couldn't include me anymore. After she left, I stood by the window, watching her walk down the street, just as she had weeks earlier. But this time, there was no pain, no bitterness, just closure. She had made her choice, and I had finally made mine. In the months that followed, I rebuilt everything she had broken, not by finding someone new, but by rediscovering myself. I traveled, picked up new hobbies, and even started smiling again. Sometimes the most painful endings are the ones that lead you to peace. Sarah tried reaching out a few more times, but I never responded. I didn't hate her. In fact, I was grateful. Her confession had woken me from an illusion I should have left long ago. She thought she had destroyed me, but instead, she set me free from a love that had already died. When people ask if I ever regret letting her go, I just smile and say, not at all. Because when she said, I'm in love with someone else, and I replied, perfect, that was the moment I stopped losing a wife and started finding myself.